You can start, sir.
Right. So a very good afternoon to everyone. I welcome all of you on behalf of the Indian Academy of Pediatrics Pune branch for this PG clinical case discussion. Today is the 13th session of this PG clinical case discussion. And today we have one of the institute who is presenting the case for the first time. Dr. Abhishek Gavhane from Unique Children's Hospital, Pimpri Chinchwad is going to present the case. Our faculty is going to be Dr. B.M. John sir from Armed Forces Medical College and Dr. Shiji Chalipat from D.Y. Patil Medical College. The co-convener and the mentor for this case is Dr. Rajendra Karambekar. And of course, Dr. Oti Madam and Dr. Rajesh Kulkarni are the chief coordinators and conveners of this PG session. So I think without wasting much time, I'll just ask Abhishek to start sharing his screen so that he can begin his case presentation.
Yes, sir. My topic for today is a 4-year-old male child, first child of non-consanguineous marriage, residents of Holekarwadi, Chinchwad, Pune. Informant is mother and the history is reliable. Came with chief complaints of tightening followed by jerky movements of left upper and lower limb, unresponsive to vocal commands for 2 to 3 minutes. History of present illness. Child was apparently all right 2 hours back when he had tightening followed by jerky movements of left upper and lower limb, indicating a tonic-clonic movement. Unresponsive to vocal commands suggestive of impaired awareness for 2 to 3 minutes, which subsided on its own. I would like to go to negative history. There's no history of fever associated with seizure. After the episode, there was no post-ictal confusion or any weakness of left upper or lower limb noted. There was no vomiting, headache, or irritability during or after the seizure episode. There was no deviation of angle of mouth, no eye deviation, no turning of head towards the left side. There were no repetitive movements before the seizure observed by the mother. There was no history of trauma. There was no ear discharge. There were no vaccination preceding symptoms and no recent COVID-19 infection, contact, or trial. In the past history, there was a similar complaint at the age of 3 years,
Hey,
1 year ago.
Abhishek?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I interrupt?
Yes, ma'am.
So, going to the first slide in your presenting complaint. So, yeah. So, what does this symptomatology conveys?
It conveys it's a left focal seizure.
So, why do you say it is a seizure?
Because there are tightening and jerky movements of the left upper and lower limb.
Okay.
Child is has impaired awareness because he is unresponsive to any vocal commands.
So, can it be any other involuntary movement?
It can be, but
How will you
first,
differentiate from history? So, what are the points in favor for seizures in this case?
the awareness is impaired.
Mhm.
There is a movement suggestive of tonic-clonic movement. So,
Okay, so it's a paroxysmal episode.
yes.
So child was apparently all right before the present episode.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so after that child had a paroxysmal event. Okay, the description is indicating focal tonic-clonic seizure of left side. So
what
can
about that unresponsiveness?
Yeah.
That means altered consciousness of the child. Does it favor a focal seizure apart from the left-sided focality of the seizure? The impaired consciousness, does it add anything to the symptomatology and possibilities underlying?
So the child was not unconscious. His only awareness, he was not aware, but he was conscious. He was not totally unconscious.
why do you say like that? What is the exact description given by mother? Why do you
Because,
say that child was unconscious?
Because she told that uh, eyes were open and the child was looking, had a stereo look fixed, and he was not responsive to her commands.
Okay.
But
So that indicates
she
child
is
was
not
conscious but impaired awareness.
aware.
So the wakefulness was intact and awareness was impaired. Okay.
Yes.
Can focal seizure happen without affecting the awareness?
Yes, ma'am, it can happen
So
with
it
the
was
intact,
previously classified as which group of seizures?
with the intact awareness.
Yes. So focal seizures were previously classified as simple partial seizure
Partial
and
seizure.
complex partial seizure.
Yes.
When the sensorium is preserved, awareness is intact, child is aware of the episode, so child is having simple partial seizure as per the previous classification. Now
Yes.
the terminology has been changed to focal
Changed.
seizure with preserved awareness and impaired awareness.
Yes, ma'am.
Continue. So next slide, the negative history.
Yes, ma'am.
So can you explain why you have asked all these points? Fever associated with seizure?
Yes, ma'am. Fever can be a provocating symptom for the seizure, which may lead to a febrile convulsion. A diagnosis and investigations and all the management may change. Um, and
Okay. So
any-
can it be infective etiology? Are you thinking of any infective etiology for having a seizure? That's why you are asking? Or is it a febrile seizure?
just to rule out a febrile seizure, it may be infective or it may not be. We may require further tests to rule out infection as the cause of fever.
Okay. So what infection can lead to fever with focal seizures?
Meningitis or encephalitis, any infection leading to irritation to the meninges or the brain.
CNS infections.
Yes.
Okay. So the sensorium alteration, irritability, neck pain. Yes.
Yes.
Repetitive movements before seizures observed by mother. What do you mean by that?
Mother did not observe any aura. As the child is 4 years old, he can't express the aura, but mother may observe some aura, which she did not. There were no abnormal movements shown before a seizure. He
But
was,
You mean
repetitive
automatism?
yes, sir. There were no automatisms, no lip smacking movements, no eye blinking movements,
Okay.
no such conditions.
Aura is a bit different, that is perceived by the person before onset of seizure, which indicates the focal onset of seizure. So it can be in the different sensory forms, visual auras, auditory auras, autonomic auras in different forms. But a small child, it will be difficult to understand, but they might be fearful behavior. In that way, you might get. So that is usually seen on focal onset seizures, usually in epileptic children. Okay.
There was no history of trauma, which may lead to hematoma, which may cause a seizure, and no ear discharge because ear infection can go through the brain. The connection, the bony part is very thin, and the vessels don't have any valves, so the infection transmission can be easily. Vaccination preceding symptoms can occur in some conditions like Dravet syndrome or channelopathies like sodium or potassium SCA1. And, yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Dr. Abhishek, like it is pointed out when your presenting complaint looks like a seizure, okay, so you need
Yes.
to cover the history in such a way that you cover the pre-ictal, ictal, and post-ictal parts of your history. All right, and then
Yes.
rest of the the questions which you asked, for example, is pertaining to the possible etiologies. So when you cover pre-ictal, ictal, and ictal, that gives you a lot of clues. Like you said, the new ILEA, classification is focal onset, impaired awareness, awareness preserved, all that.
Yes.
So it does help you in localizing the etiology of seizure with respect to where it is happening. So that's why covering it in that sequence, pre-ictal, ictal, and post-ictal, is very, very important. You've done it. Only thing is, for example, that aura thing came somewhere in the middle of your negative history. That should be the first part, and then the remaining history, which is where you're trying to elicit the causes, the otherwise,
Yes.
and of course, let's see what you're presenting now. Yeah.
Yes. The child had a similar episode at age of 3 years, which lasted for a minute or two. There was no hospitalization and no medication taken for the episode. And the child had a similar episode at day of life 3, which I'll be talking in detail in the birth history.
So
Birth history.
there becomes a bit of a, if you think they are related, then there would be a merit in bringing this in the entire sequence of illness rather than taking it into the past history. So, one way of presenting it would be that a 4-year-old child had, and if all the seizures were, say, focal onset, seizures onset in infancy or at 3 years of age, right? And multiple episodes thereafter, rather than taking this into the past history.
Yes.
Normally in medicine, what happens is if they are linked, if you think they were linked, then it becomes part of the same illness. They don't go into the past history. Okay.
Yes. Now I would like to discuss the birth history, antenatal part. There was history of oligohydramnios. Mother's age at time of conception was 24 years. It was a registered pregnancy, a spontaneous conception. No previous miscarriages, fetal deaths, neonatal deaths. Registered pregnancy with 6 antenatal visits. Immunization done with TT doses, iron and folic medications were given. One USG was done before 28 weeks of gestational age. No history of prolonged infertility or treatment. No history of torch infections. No history of recreational drug intake or any medications, which may lead to seizure in the child. No history of PIH, diabetes mellitus, thyroid, or any chronic illness. There was good maternal weight gain around 11 kg during a pregnancy. No history of fever lasting for 2 weeks of delivery, and no vaginal discharge. Fetal movements were normal, and no history of PV bleed. Perinatal birth history, the child was late preterm, 34 plus 5 week.